I don't often start, MacArthur said, Jordan, will Trump get the electric chair? Oh my God, here we go. I don't often start with news on President Trump, the Russia gate, and all this stuff because I believe in covering the real news falling through the cracks. But obviously, I'm going to start with Michael Cohen. If you're living under a rock, and by the way, press the share button. Press share on Periscope. Press share on Facebook. Press share on YouTube. That is what helps us beat the digital suppression. Michael Cohen has pleaded guilty in a plea deal on at least 8 counts. Everything from tax evasion to tax fraud to campaign finance documents.
Well, Jake, I mean, it's a pretty intense scene inside there. Michael Cohen is addressing the court right now. He just walked through how he committed 8 counts, including tax evasion on his personal income taxes, giving a false statement to a bank, and then critically, he just described how he violated campaign finance laws 2 ways, both involving, one of those involving the Karen McDougal payment and the other one the Stormy McDaniels payment. Now, he did not identify either woman by name, but it was clear from the evidence the $150,000 payment and the $130,000 payment. Now, specifically, when asked by the judge to describe the crime, Michael Cohen said, in coordination and at the direction of the candidate for federal office, he had made these payments. So he is implicating Donald Trump in this, although not specifically by name. So we just heard that. I ran out of the courtroom. Michael Cohen is still answering questions by the judge who is running through the process here, informing him of his rights. And we also learned that as part of this agreement, he's agreed to a prison term, although the judge is not bound by this, but of between just under 4 years and 5 years in prison. But the judge will sentence him later at a future date, so this could change, but that is the agreement between the prosecutor's office and Michael Cohen and his attorneys, Jake.
So here are my thoughts on Michael Cohen. Again, he has agreed to plead guilty. He is admitting to tax fraud, tax evasion, and campaign finance issues, campaign finance violations. The key to what he said, forget the tax fraud, forget the tax evasion. That really doesn't have anything to do with President Trump. It also, Michael Cohen's a dime a dozen. You know how many politically connected people in America, politically connected Democrats, politically connected Republicans, commit tax fraud, commit tax evasion, and do not face any prison time? Come on, let's keep it real here. So not that it's good that Michael Cohen or Paul Manafort, who by the way was found guilty today, so double whammy. Not good that they committed tax fraud or tax evasion, but dime a dozen. So I'm not going to focus on that. What I am going to focus on is Michael Cohen basically in a sign to me that he is heavily cooperating with the Southern District of New York attorneys. Remember, Michael Cohen's case is not under the purview of Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller, the special prosecutor, passed Michael Cohen's case off to the Southern District of New York because it's tax evasion, tax fraud, campaign finance documents, but not connected completely to the Russia investigation, what I humbly and sarcastically call Russiagate, because I think there's a lot of smoke and not a lot there. Anyway, it's not that this does not mean that Mueller, when he announces his findings, might not find that maybe Cohen had something to do with the Russian collusion if they find that. So far, they haven't, contrary to what Rachel Maddow hyperventilates about every night. But what I find very interesting here is you have the basically Donald Trump. Michael Cohen was Donald Trump's like consigliere. You know, if you watch Goodfellas or any of these Goomba Johnny, Italiano, tough guy movies. Somebody want to make a GIF? You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? Huh? What are you talking about? What, are you stupid? That's my Robert De Niro or Al Pacino impersonation. But Michael Cohen was his guy that fixed up all the terrible things that Donald Trump did. So by Michael Cohen saying, he didn't mention Trump by name, but he's talking about Trump, that I issued payments to Stormy Daniels and Playboy model Karen McDougal at the direction of a candidate for federal office, he is directly saying Donald Trump told me to pay off these porn stars, right? So that is saying Donald Trump, at his direction, I committed campaign finance violations, which, by the way, another dime a dozen, because if I did a live stream on how many Democratic lobbyists and Democratic operatives and Republican operatives commit campaign finance violations every day and do not go to jail, this would be, how long do you think that live stream would go? At least 3 weeks? 3 weeks I could go. So it implicates that Trump basically was pulling the strings for Michael Cohen to commit campaign finance violations. Why is this important? I think it's important in one way and totally unimportant in another way. So let me tell you why I think it's unimportant, not from the legal point of view. From the legal point of view, Trump could have problems, which I'm going to get to. Why I think it's unimportant, just from the who gives a damn point of view. And please press the share button, because basically YouTube, Facebook, all these outlets are suppressing this channel and other independent journalists. So we need you to press the share button. Reminder, this is a super chat. If you like what you hear, you know, $1, $2, $5, it's going to get me back in the field. Why I don't think this is important, folks? Okay, so not legally. It is legally important, which I'm going to get to. Why I think it's not totally important is Donald Trump was recorded on tape bragging about grabbing women's genitals without their permission. This came out in September of 2016. Let me repeat that. Donald Trump admitted to grabbing women by the boop, by the boop. YouTube can't demonetize boop, or can they? So does anyone here, if I have any stray Trump supporters in my live chat right now, does anyone really think that if it came out that Donald Trump was paying off porn stars or Playboy models not to come out, that he was having affairs with them or whatever, that was going to mean that that would have swayed the election? I think Donald Trump is reprehensible, by the way. The fact that he was recorded basically saying, like, yeah, I do whatever I want. I grab women whether they like it or not. That's assault. It's assault. In any normal political election, it would have totally disqualified him. But this was 2016, I could tell you, because I was on the road for most of it, was not normal. So I don't think it matters from the standpoint, you know, all these pundits on TV and CNN and MSNBC and New York Times like to foment about this Russia stuff. Well, this swung the election. Frankly, even my former outlet that I used to work at, they would often say, this swung the election. I don't think anyone could objectively say that Donald Trump or Michael Cohen paying off these Playboy model and porn star would have mattered. Even if it came out, I don't think it would have mattered to the people in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Florida. I really don't. I think most of Trump supporters, because I've interviewed probably dozens of them on the road, they have baked into the cake that this is an incorrigible, terrible individual. They have. They don't care. My mother's... Huh?
You got a new patron. Sorry.
Oh, we got a new Patreon subscriber. That's a reminder, folks. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, what are you doing? You can do it as low as $1 a month, $2 a month, $5 a month. You want to see me out in the field? You want to see Ty and I getting out in the field? Help us build the media revolution you want to see. We're launching statuscoup.com in the next 2 to 3 weeks, by the way. Patreon.com/Jordan Reports. Help me get into the field. Or Super Chat or PayPal. So that's why I don't think it's really important from a point of view like Michael Cohen paying off a Playboy model and a porn star. I'm sorry. I just... In 1997 or 8, at that time, when it was rabid Republicans going after Clinton, it might have mattered. I don't think it mattered in 2016. I don't think it would have mattered, to tell you the truth. Because at the end of the day, folks, I mean, I don't think Trump supporters are supporting him because they compare him to Pope Francis. Do you? Do you? So we need to get that out of the way.